everybody, today I am here and I'm doing a video that has been inspired by emails that I get from you guys. So many of you travel to LA or Hollywood and email me and ask me for my advice on either things to do or tips or tricks or things like that. So I'm going to give you my best advice on traveling to Los Angeles, especially if you have never been here before. It is a crazy city. So my number one piece of advice I always tell girls when they come to LA, rent a car. LA does have public transport. It is not the best public transport. We have buses. We don't really have a rail system or a train system. We do have the metro, but it doesn't service a lot of areas. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is how big the Los Angeles County is, and it is about 40 miles from top to bottom, and that is a big area if you are trying to sort of travel around. And that doesn't even count Orange County or any of the outlying areas where you might want to go see other things or other beaches or other whatever. So I definitely always suggest that girls rent a car because otherwise it's a little bit difficult to navigate through LA. In that vein, you need to pick the side of town that you're going to want to do the most things on. A lot of girls are like, ooh, I want to stay at the beach, I want to stay at Santa Monica because it's so beautiful out there, but most of what I'm doing is in Hollywood or Burbank or Disneyland or whatever, and trying to get from the west side, which is the beach side, to any other place, especially if you're going east into downtown or Hollywood or into Orange County. Traffic is really bad, and it's harder to get across town multiple times than it is to sort of be in a central location to what you want to do and then travel shorter distances. So I would say wherever you are doing the most of your activities, try to find a place to stay that is kind of central to that. Along with that goes being aware of traffic. Traffic in LA is as bad as everybody says it is. It is awful. So you want to be sure that you're traveling in the least traffic times of the day, which would be from 11 to 2 in the afternoon or after 7 p.m. in the evening. Sometimes after 8 p.m. in the evening, really depends. If it's a Friday, traffic can be bad probably until 9 o'clock in the evening. So give yourself an extra hour, hour and a half, even 2 hours to get wherever you need to go because traffic is crazy, because everybody is either going home for the weekend or getting out of town for the weekend. In the vein of traffic and driving, pay attention to parking signs. One thing that they don't have in a lot of cities that they do have in LA is daily street sweeping, and this will be in pretty much the entire county of LA. In my neighborhood, it's Monday and Friday, so our side of the street on Monday, opposite side of the street on Friday, from 8 to 10 in the morning, they street sweep. And because of this, you can't park there in those times. So if you do park there during street sweeping, you get a $78 ticket. The street sweeping signs are not always super obvious, so really make sure. There's also, you know, certain restrictions. There's a lot of neighborhoods that have permit-only parking. So you can park there from like 8 to 6 in the day, but after 6 p.m. or after 8 p.m., it becomes permit-only for the people that live in that neighborhood. So if you park there, you get kind of a hefty ticket. They also might tow you in some situations, so just be really aware of parking signs wherever you park. So there are so many kind of touristy things to do in LA and Hollywood specifically. I can tell you that some of the Hollywood things are fun or whatever, the Wax Museum or the Believe It or Not, they're kind of whatever. If you're gonna pick one thing in Hollywood to see, especially for you girls that are my vintage girls, go to the Hollywood Museum. It's the old Max Factor Cosmetics building. The whole bottom floor is still original. It's where Marilyn became a blonde, it's where Lucille became a redhead. There's rooms dedicated to all the old actresses, and then there's 4 floors of just movie memorabilia and little bits of history, and it's amazing. I think it's only $15, so it's definitely the most bang for your buck. So a lot of girls are afraid of little hole-in-the-wall Mexican places because they think they might not be delicious. The one thing that we have in LA that I haven't noticed in many other cities that I've traveled to is we have a alphabet rating system for restaurants. So it's A, B, C, D, F, just like in school. So if you see a restaurant with an A or a B, it's good. C, D is ugh, and you'll never see something with an F. That probably means they've been shut down. But because of that, you can find little hole-in-the-wall places that may look super sketchy and maybe dirty, but if they have an A or a B, it means that they're up to clean standards. And I have to tell you, especially as far as Mexican food goes, it's usually the seediest little places that are the best because it's like mom and dad and grandma actually cooking in the kitchen, and they're usually the most delicious. One thing I can tell you that's just kind of a general sort of lingo thing Nobody in Southern California, or I don't think California in general, says Cali. So if you come to California and you're like, yeah man, I'm in Cali, yeah, don't do that. Nobody says that. Nobody. If you are going to go to the beach, there are a lot of beautiful beaches in Southern California. Do your research, find the beach that kind of fits what you want. If you want just a beautiful scenic beach, Malibu is great. Same thing with like the Southern Orange County beaches are beautiful for scenery. If you want more upscale sort of shops and that kind of thing, Hermosa Beach is amazing, Manhattan Beach is amazing. Santa Monica and the Santa Monica Pier are very, very touristy, so if that's what you want, go for it. It's going to be more crowded. Same thing with Venice. One thing I can tell you is if you want to walk the Venice Boardwalk, do it during the week. During the weekend it gets really crazy and there's more homeless people and there's more sort of riffraff. So if you want just to like shop and walk around and look at things without sort of being hassled, I would say do it during the week. One thing I can tell you for sure, 100%, if you jaywalk and a cop sees you, you are going to get a ticket. It'll be between $150 and $200. They're really, 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 really strict about jaywalking in LA. Everywhere in LA. That's beach cities, that's downtown, that's Hollywood. If you guys don't know what jaywalking is, it's walking across the street where there's not a crosswalk. And that counts even in neighborhoods, so be really, really, really careful about doing that. If you guys want to see the Hollywood sign, which I know most of you guys do, I used to live right down the street from it, so I've seen it from all angles. The best view of the Hollywood sign is either standing on Gower and looking up the street, or going to the Griffith Park Observatory and looking at it from there. A lot of people go on the hike to get close to the Hollywood sign. You can't actually get to the Hollywood sign. You can't climb on it, you can't get to it, it's all fenced off. If you try, you'll get arrested. Trust me, they have cameras set up. But if you try to get super close to it, the view you get is not very good. So the farther away views are the better views, especially for pictures. If you want to go to the Sunset Strip, do it at night. There is really nothing to do on the Sunset Strip during the day, unless you want to go to a restaurant. But other than that, the Sunset Strip kind of comes alive at night. It's more beautiful at night, it's more glamorous at night. During the day, it's kind of seedy, not really beautiful, and there's not a whole lot going on. One thing to remember, if you do not know this already, Disneyland is not in Los Angeles. Disneyland is in Orange County in Anaheim. So if you are staying in LA and you are planning on going to Disneyland, it's about a 45-mile drive, which, depending on traffic, can be anywhere between 1 hour and 3 hours, depending on what time of the day, what day of the week you are going. So just be aware of that if you're planning on going to Disneyland. And lastly, girls always ask me what bars to go to. I can tell you, from my personal experience, my favorite bars would be Tiki Tea, which is in Hollywood, and it is the oldest tiki bar in LA, and it's privately owned, and it's amazing, and they make delicious, strong tiki drinks. Also, the Dresden is in Los Feliz, and it was in Swingers, if you guys ever saw that, but it's the most sort of old, swanky, sort of rat packy feeling kind of bar, but it's still got a dive bar feel. Idle Hour is a bar in the Valley in North Hollywood. It is a big, shaped like a giant barrel, and they have delicious craft cocktails. Loaded is the bar you want to go to in Hollywood if you want a sort of seedy rock and roll bar. And the Bigfoot Lodge in Silver Lake is one of my favorites just for the cheesiness of it. It's all sort of Northwest Bigfoot foresty themed, and they have good drinks there too. So hopefully that gives you guys a good place to start if you are planning on visiting Los Angeles. There's all sorts of things you can Google to find, you know, the best places to go, the most overrated places to go. But I feel like this information is stuff that you don't really get on those websites, and it's just kind of information that is from my personal experience. So thank you guys for watching. Good luck on your travels, and I will see you on the next one.